Hi, my name is Cecilia Córdova García and I'm for the group 612 and this is my exhibition. The Renaissance. Before starting to talk about the Renaissance as such, I want to tell you that art has a very important role. Probably many people think that art is useless, but it is what makes us human. Without art, the world would be in a time like the beginning of the world, and our brain will not be developed. Since art arises because we think before, if art did not exist, we will not think and we will be like robots, without thoughts. I have the idea that art is more important than many other things. As art we call a set of disciplines or productions of the human being for aesthetic and symbolic purpose, based on a certain set of criteria, rules and techniques, and it is a way of expressing yourself. Although, if you are an arts student, you might know that a such word can have many meanings depending on the context. Around the 14th century, something changed in Europe. We are supposed to be in the Middle Ages, but something begins to revolutions in politics and of course the culture. Suddenly, it is man and not good. The center of everything. Suddenly, artists and artisans are valued. Suddenly, naturalism, harmony, and mathematical proportions are being used to be beauty, to create beauty. The artist becomes a scientist. He must know many disciplines to develop his craft. He no longer practices vile and the mechanical activities. Now his craft begins to rise. The artist begins to dream in proto-Rebirth. We are between two worlds. We are in the Gothic. Remember that it is a posteriori name, because for the Renaissance this was an art of barbarians, of gods. But the Quattrocento is beginning to be felt. The Quattrocento, 400, the years of the 15th century, is a key period of Western art. Let's say that is where that art is born as we know it today, and the artist who is no longer anonymous. And some outstanding painters of the period are Masaccio, Uccello, De Lippi, Domenico Veneziano, Angelico, Andrea del Castagno, and Piero della Francesca. Here I will put some examples on the screen. The Middle Ages ended and Antiquity, Classical Greek and Roman art began to be valued. But all those new artists and intellectuals don't just want to imitate that mythical hero. They want to get over it. The human being is also beginning to be valued. Humanins. This results in the representation of the human figure as a theme. It seeks to imitate things as they are: anatomy, depth, proportion, perspective. The figures of Filippo Brunelleschi and Leon Battista Alberti also stand out. It is an architecture that aspires to classicism and that provides the theoretical foundations for the canonization of the style, which will characterize the following period. This stage has its end in 1492, caused by the flight of the artist due to theocratic led by Savonarola, in addition to the death of Lorenzo di Medici. The period that follows in the Cinquecento, that is 1500 in Italian, is the next step in the evolution of art that began in the Quattrocento. Humanistic anthropocentrism is fully developed, the main feature of the modern age, and stylistically it is characterized by inspiration in the classical antiquity, especially in what refers to imitation of nature. If Florence was the cradle of the Quattrocento, the art of this century has its seat in Rome, the Rome of the popes, who will be patrons of the great artists to this period. Of course, Cinquecento spreads very soon throughout Europe like infection. At 16 years old, my mind was battlefield. My love for pagan beauty, the male nude, at war with my religious faith, a polarity of themes and forms, one spiritual and the other heavenly. This is a phrase by the artist Michelangelo. It helps us understand the ideology of this time. The most prominent artists of the initial period of the Italian Cinquecento were Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael Sanzio, and Michelangelo. I want to mention one of the most important artists of this time, which is Michelangelo. During the nearly 70 years that his career lasted, Michelangelo cultivated painting, sculpture, and architecture alike, with extraordinary results in each of these artistic phases. In these senses, he surpasses the other two great masters of the Cinquecento. Raphael Sanzio focused almost exclusively on painting, and Leonardo da Vinci, as versatile and exalted as he, but escaping in affective accidents. His contemporaries cite Michelangelo's creation as quality, called terribilia, to which the greatest of his genius can be attributed. This term refers to aspects such as psychological vigor, emotional intensity, and creative enthusiasm. True constants in the works of these artists that give them their inimitable grace and personality. Conclusion. To conclude with this, I can say that it might not be a topic that many are interested in, but it is a topic that has a lot of importance. Many of those in our room are studying this, and that is why we know about Rebirth, the Renaissance. But what if not? I think that schools should take more about these issues as it is important and probably most of the school like it. but many teachers or students may not be interested in that. But it is a very beautiful, interesting topic what we should all know. Thank you so much for the attention. See you later.